for feedback in figure drawing class, it was not great. I was pretty bummed out. My lecturer called my figures looked like alien. I did give the most effort for this assignment, yet I still got low marks. But then I thought, you know what? I can only get better if I'm able to detect my mistakes and try not to repeat them again. So for 2021, I kind of want to make a goal for myself to draw more figures than portraits, because I focus a lot of portraits in 2020. So now it has been a year, and I kind of want to like reach new heights and explore new horizons, you know. So I kind of want to draw more figures and practice drawing bodies. Now before I move on with the like juicy parts of the video, I just want to get this quick update out of the way, because I've made a uni video a few months ago talking about how scared I am to go into uni, and I just want to give you guys a quick update about that. So I just finished my first semester in uni, and I don't have much to say about it except for the fact that I don't really have interesting stories to tell you, because most of the time when you have to learn online studying, you don't do much stuff except for this and this. I go to class and the next thing is I crash onto the bed. I go to class and bed and probably some art. That's it. Now I face those 3 fears that I mentioned in the previous video, which is this video here. The 3 fears are online school, time managing, and people. So turns out it's not that scary after all. You know, after you've gone through it, spoiler alert, it's not that scary. So I mean, I'm still like struggling with the time managing, since like I've kind of been missing a couple of uploads, you know. But it was finals week, okay? It was finals week. It was getting hectic, so I kind of got overwhelmed by it. And for the online learning, like I said, it can be quite draining actually, but it's definitely not terrifying at all once you go through it. And the people part, surprisingly, the people I met are quite supportive, and they're quite great people, at least the ones who's like active on the social platforms that we're in, you know. So yeah, that is good news to hear, and it's not so bad anymore actually. So that's nice to hear. Now since we're on the subject of uni, I want to touch on another thing that will lead us into the main part of this video. Okay, transitions. Basically, I had to take a figure drawing class during my first semester, and as you would expect, it's the class that I struggled the most, because I don't have much experience at all drawing bodies, you know. So my figures were set by my lecturer to look like alien, and I remember drawing this figure, you know. We had to do like a figure but sort of semi-realistic style, because it was taught by like an animation lecturer, so he doesn't really care if it looks realistic, very realistic or not. But that's not the point. The point is like I had to draw this figure and it looks tilted, really tilted. And I posted that on my WhatsApp statuses, and my friend said, yo bro, that's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And I had to laugh, because it's true. No, it's true, it's true.
Crickets.
It was really struggling for me, you know, to kind of get the concepts of figure drawing at first, but it's the kind of struggle that I want to struggle, you know. Now of course I didn't take all of those comments and criticisms as like personally, as like a personal attack. I took it like a chance for me to improve. So I had to watch a lot of figure drawings video and try to get what is the like main thing about figure drawings that makes the figure looks more very fluid and flowy and naturalistic and relaxed looking, you know, than my figure. So after a bunch of that video and a bunch of weekly practices given by my lecturer that we had to do, I slowly start to like learn how to analyze the figure into like blocky 3D shapes, and I also learned how to deconstruct it into the most simplest of shapes, and how to see the human body in 3D space, which is more like foreshortening is what they call. Yeah. Now after handing in the final assignments for that class, I can fairly say that I am starting to have fun drawing figures, because I know what I'm supposed to do. I look at a figure and I know what steps I take and how do I approach drawing that. So that's why it started to get fun. Because of that, it actually excites me to incorporate all this knowledge that I got from this class to incorporate it into my art. After that, I was thinking like, okay, so you're gonna draw more figures after this, right? So after figure after figure after figure after figure, it's probably gonna get boring. So what is the thing that you can add and bring along with you to make reaching this goal more fun? So I was thinking that question, you know. But after a while, I didn't really have the answer just yet. So I didn't want to waste time thinking of how I can make it more fun. I just started doing it. I found this really great reference that I wanted to draw that has a standing pose. So standing pose is basically the most simplest poses that I could go for, you know. I don't want to go into this journey of drawing more figures by doing very complicated poses at first, you know. So I just started doing the most simple one, which is a relaxed figure with some baggy clothes. So I focused on really trying to get that figure looking and standing quite right. It was much more easier in digital, working in digital, because I had to draw in traditional medium when I was in that figure drawing class, and let me tell you, it was so hard because I know, like, when I draw in traditional and then I flip it by taking an image of it, flip it in like an editing software, it looks tilted, and now I have to erase the figure drawing and then draw it back again. While in digital, I could just like crop the part that was tilted and then easily adjust it, right? But yeah, I had to go to the pain of that during the semester. And then after finishing the sketch, I started to color it. And during the color and rendering part, I was thinking, okay, this is starting to get boring actually. For me, I'm a guy who doesn't really have quite a long attention span, you know. So I was like, okay, how do I make this fun? I need to finish this rendering here, but how do I make this fun? So you know what I did? I did some researching, and by researching, I mean going to Pinterest for inspiration. So I was like going to Pinterest, see what's fun and not, and I started to save some pictures into a mood board, and then I created a mood board. So this mood board here that you can see here. Alright, hi guys. So this is Najib editing. I actually have to say something because I lost the time-lapse video of the current painting, of the rest of for this painting. The rest time-lapse, it gone. I can't even speak. Oh my god. The time-lapse for the rest of the painting that you just saw, yeah, it's gone. I can't really explain to you, but I'm going to give an explanation of my mood board instead, okay? Because it's quite interesting. Alright, so as you can see here, this is my mood board. It starts out with one picture that I want to draw, and then it starts to spread out. And yeah, by the way, this is the Pure Ref software. It's free, you can go and get it. I really recommend it for artists. And okay, so it starts with one picture, and then it starts to spread out, like the color and mood that I'm going for and style. And then it starts to spread out more, and just more, and spread out more and more, and it grows into this one giant big mood board of personal art that I want to do. So yeah, past Najib has a more detailed explanation about it, but I left this part out, so yeah, I just had to fill in the future. So yeah, let's get back to past Najib. And then I created a mood board. So this mood board here that you can see here, it is very, how do I say, they call it the Y2K aesthetic, and I really like the aesthetic. It catches my eye quite well in the Pinterest section, and I had to save it. I save a lot, and then I start to look more into the Y2K aesthetic and fashion. And to my surprise, the Y2K photography and fashion and aesthetic has a lot to do with body poses, with figure poses, you know. So they actually have a lot of model poses in very energetic and weird poses that I really like, and I know that can help me reach my goal, you know. And the fashions is really fun to draw as well. So I started collecting all of these pictures, and I started to collect some stickers and PNGs that would fit well into this aesthetic, because this aesthetic has a lot of collage in it. And then yeah, I started to add all of those elements, those sticker elements and the pins kind of elements and the PNGs into my art, and starting to basically accessorize it, bedazzle it as they call it in the Y2K genre. And then I finally finished with the first painting, and it turned out really cool, yeah, because at first the background, the reference was really empty and bland. So after I put all of the stickers down, it kind of looked much more, it looks much more interesting, at least to me. I really like it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, of course. And then I got really excited to draw more in this aesthetic, so the next day I started with the second painting. The other reason why I really like this aesthetic, because I was like a boy. When I was a boy, I really like editing and doing this kind of aesthetic kind of editing. And when I started to get into digital art, I kind of lose that part of me a bit, So by doing art in this aesthetic, it kind of bring a little bit of my past into my new and recent art, and I kind of like that. I can bring a lot of personality into my painting. So I really like this aesthetic and style. I'm not saying this is going to be my style for the next 10 years, like I said, I have attention span of a goldfish, so who knows, probably the next 2 weeks I'm going to change my style, but for now I like this style because it feels nostalgic to me, and plus this style and aesthetic actually helps me have fun while trying to reach that goal. So for now, I really like drawing in this kind of style. And after getting down the sketch and the figure looking quite right, and rendering all of the painting, I finally get to bedazzle it. And by bedazzle it, I reference a lot from those Y2K magazines, fashion magazine. What I realized was a lot of those models in those fashion magazines has this very glowy light surrounding the silhouette of the poses. So I did that with the Photoshop. It was very easy. You just need to go to the layer that you were painting, and then you just right click on blending options, and then goes to auto glow, and you just kind of play with it and see what works. And then I found some aesthetic looking background from Pinterest, and I just added at the back. And yeah, this is the second painting. It looks a bit more glowier and vintage looking than the first one. The first one is more grunge actually, but this is the second painting that is slowly going back to that Y2K aesthetic that I really like. Alright, so let's move on to the final painting of this video. Now for this painting is where I kinda upped the challenge, increased the challenge a little bit, because I was using a reference that was not standing anymore. The second one was standing, but still new changes have been added. But for the third one is where I really upped the challenge a bit on the figure drawing, where the models are sitting in a weird position, and it has foreshortening in it as well. And of course I still follow the reference quite closely, because the goal was trying to draw more figures and more figures right, so I focus on getting the pose right before I start to learn how to adapt and change the poses to the way I want. So that's why I'm still following the reference really close, if you're wondering. Because to me, it's all about taking a small step by small step with your painting to reach the big goal that you want. So just take it easy, right? Step by step, you increase the challenge a little bit, oh my god. You increase the challenge a little by little, and before you know it, you will reach that goal, right? So for this one, it's time for me to start changing the pose, but still I can still follow closely to it. So for this painting, it took me quite a while to finish coloring and sketching, because number one, these poses were challenging to me actually, and number two, I was beginning to procrastinate doing it. Like I said, I don't have attention span that is really long, so I had to do it in between of breaks. And my point from this is that you don't really need to pressure yourself into reaching a goal. Actually, just try to have fun with it. Try to take it slow. Do not really pressure yourself, because you're gonna feel bad about it. It's okay for you to take breaks. So I took some breaks when I was kind of struggling with this sketch and the painting for this one. And yeah, I played some games and pet my cat outside, and when I feel ready to go back to the painting, I can finally finish up with the rendering and coloring. I would suggest for you to do this with your paintings as well. Try to have multiple sessions with your painting, because when you come to see your painting like in a new fresh eye after like a few hours or days, you will start to see the new mistakes that you didn't notice before, you know. So try to have some different sessions, or like at least 2 sessions of your painting, so that you can see your painting in a new perspective. Alright, hey guys, what's up? So I just finished the final painting and it looks so cute! It looks so cute! Look, it looks so cute! Ah! Like, I added the story element into it and it just makes it so much more better, you know, and it kind of fits with the aesthetic that I was going for with the like Y2K vibes and the overlay stickers and stuff. The text bubble fits right in, and I love the triadic color palette. At first it was a different background and I hated it, you know. I let the background sit for a while, and then I was like, ew, it's kind of not, it felt kind of icky. So I changed the background into a more triadic color palette. It's been a long time since anyways, like, it's been such a long time where I felt this like surge of inspiration, where I just want to do the next painting with the same vibes and the same aesthetic, you know. Because for this past few like poses of my art, I've been kind of stuck, you know. I felt like I kind of plateaued in a way, you know. So in looking back at my past and implementing it into my new painting, it kind of made me feel a new vibe of painting that I want to do, you know. So yeah, I'm kind of stoked right now. I'm kind of stoked on what kind of art I'm gonna make in the future, you know. Probably with different vibes, or probably still this vibe, I don't know yet. But yeah, that's all I can say. I think editing Najib will do it better at concluding this video, yeah. So to summarize up this video, basically, if you're trying to improve on something, try to have fun while trying to get better at that something. Try to find out how can you have fun. Don't stress yourself out if your painting is not coming together really soon as you want it. Try to enjoy the process, okay? Don't focus much on the result. Try to have fun with the process, right? So that is pretty much it in my journey so far in trying to improve my figure drawing. Of course, there is a long way for me to go in really like mastering this figure drawing. So yeah, I hope you can support me here. If you want to see more of my art in the future, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, of course. My socials are Najib Basirun on all platforms here. So I hope I can see you guys there if you want to support me there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!